Welcome, curious souls, to the Macabre Emporium, your sanctuary for the unusual, the mysterious, and the appalling.
Step through our cryptic doorway into a world where secrets whisper and enigmas come to life.
I'm David.
And I'm Sarah.
Together, we're your custodians of the macabre, guiding you through tales that defy the ordinary.
Discover the untold stories, from lesser-known cases of true crime to the bizarre events that captivate us.
Join us on a journey to the shadows where the mainstream fades and the extraordinary beckons.
So whether you seek the bizarre, the eerie, or the chillingly obscure,
you're in for a treat here at Macabre Emporium.
Welcome back to Macabre Emporium. This is episode 59.
And if echoes bother you, you might want to skip this episode because we're trying something completely new today. And welcome.
Welcome.
So, what about new? As you can tell, we're not in our normal recording space at the shop office. We are on the road for the holiday.
On the road.
We are visiting Sarah's sister and her boyfriend. Would you guys like to say hello to everybody out there?
Amy, say hi.
Hi.
Stevie Weavin, say
Hello.
hi.
Hello. Happy Easter.
Yep.
Even though it's a little old now.
This is 3 days. Well, it's going to be 3 days
It's
afterwards.
old. No,
So, what is there a holiday on Wednesday? Isn't there one, or is it?
No.
Isn't Dingus Day the day after, or is it like 2 days after? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway. So, we have no set schedule. We're just going to, talk about whatever comes to mind, basically. But I do have on this day for this week. So, for
April 3rd.
April 3rd, I'm waiting for the hillbillies to go by. So, on this day for April 3rd, Saturday Night Live alumni and best known for Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop, actor Eddie Murphy was born on this day in 1961, Brooklyn, New York. Fun fact about Eddie Murphy is he turned down the role of Zeddemore Winston in Ghostbusters because he didn't think the film was going to do very well.
Well, he fucked himself, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably like one of those moments he probably kicked himself in the ass afterwards. Yeah, because if you remember his exact words were, "A movie about catching ghosts is dumb." Well, look how that turned out.
Right.
3 sequels plus one we don't technically speak of. Mariah Carey overtakes Elvis Presley's record of Mariah Carey overtakes Elvis Presley's record of 17 number one hits in the United States with her 18th Touch My Body in 2008.
No thanks on that.
Yeah.
In the world of true crime, Ted Kaczynski, a.k.a. the Unabomber, was arrested in Montana in 1996. Kaczynski pleads guilty to 13 counts of transporting explosive devices with the intent to kill or maim after killing 3 and injuring 23 after 20 years evading law enforcement and the FBI.
Huh.
He was a hardcore anarchist.
In 1973, Martin Cooper, even though nobody knows what he is, he did change the world. Martin Cooper stood on 6th Avenue in Manhattan and changed the world forever. I'm calling you on a cell phone, but a real cell phone, a personal handheld portable cell phone. Who did he call? Joe Engel, head of AT&T owned Bell Labs, the people that he was competing directly against to make the world's first cellular telephone call.
Oh, I've watched a documentary about this dude, I think.
NASCAR Bill Elliott set the fastest qualifying speed at 212 miles per hour in 1987 at Talladega Speedway and will likely not be broken due to restrictor plate mandates set in 1999. And for our last one, American outlaw Jesse James is gunned down by one of his remaining gang members, Robert Ford, in St. Joseph, Missouri in 1882. But yes, I did actually add one more category to on this day because even though it was 5, it was like, there's a lot of sports stuff. I kept skipping over it. So I added one more, so we actually have a birth, world event, technological event, television to movie, and a death, like I always end it.
Smart. Very smart.
So other than that,
Yeah.
what's next?
Steve? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's funny that you talked about the hillbillies driving by, and then you finished up with 2 hillbillies, a fast-driving hillbilly and...
Well, those ones are, I guess you could say, are well-liked. One more than the other.
They're nice hillbillies.
Well,
Nice
one
famous ones.
Yeah, one's a nice one, as far as I know. I don't know heard anybody say anything bad about Bill Elliott. And of course, the other one, obviously, everybody knows what Jesse James did.
Yeah.
He wrote the song "Going Down in a Blaze of Glory."
No, wrong with that's Bon That's Bon Jovi, not Jesse James.
I know.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
So we basically brought you guys on just to kind of shoot the shit, hear about like awesome life experiences that you guys have gone through, paranormal, anything that you've gone through.
I got no.
So I know one of the last
Paranormal.
times we were with you guys that Steve had actually brought up sneaking into a concert and getting to meet somebody that I'm sure many, many people would have loved to have met.
Oh.
He didn't get to meet him, but he got to see some
Well,
stuff that
yeah.
nobody else really got to
Yeah,
see.
we went to see Queen on the game tour, and we went to the venue and we're standing outside, and you could hear music playing, and we tried a door. No way this thing's going to be open. And the door opened, and all of a sudden music got louder. We run in, get all the way down to the floor, and it's Brian May from Queen doing his guitar sound check. And we caught last 3 minutes of that, something like that. And then he was leaving, and Roger Taylor, the drummer, was coming in to do his sound check. We heard about a minute or two of that, and they saw us and basically threw us out, said we were trespassing. Then found out we already had tickets for the show. Get back by the hotel where they're going to be staying, all ready to brag about it. And everybody else had already met Brian May and got his autograph. And luckily it was the only one. But after the show, we got to meet all of them. They were all really, really cool guys.
Freddie Mercury included.
Fuck. I mean, he was the man. Still the best singer ever. I was a fan of his, of that band, since I was in kindergarten. So that was the most amazing thing ever.
Was he as
And have-
nice as he seemed like he would be?
Extremely nice. Now, when they were playing, apparently his piano was out of tune because he pointed at it and called a guy over. And when the guy, he told him to put his head down by it, and when he did, he smacked his head against the piano and then sent him off. So apparently he could be a little testy at times, but he was cool as hell towards us.
I couldn't even imagine meeting him, could you?
No.
That'd be...
It was hard to think of anything
Crazy.
to say because I
Right.
was just.
I
you know,
bet.
But they were so nice, just unbelievable.
Have you met anybody famous, Amy?
No.
It's like nobody
He's
can...
met Ronnie James Dio.
Really?
Couple times.
He's
Yeah,
met,
a few times.
Who else have you met?
All of Judas Priest back in the 1980.
He said they're all little.
Really?
No, that was Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden are all, yeah.
He met them too.
Yeah, it's always
Judas
weird
Priest
when-
were normal sized. The Who, they were all pretty much 6 foot or real close. Ted Nugent.
Who's the tiniest musician you've ever met?
Ronnie
Either
James
Bruce
Dio.
Dickinson or Ronnie James Dio.
Bruce Dickinson. Who's
Oh, they're
that?
both singer for Iron Maiden.
Oh, okay.
They're both about as tall as you guys.
Really?
Yeah, it's really strange asking someone for their autograph and you're like looking down at them
Right.
like they're a little kid.
That's only ever happened once
So-
to me. Sarah might remember the name of the band Dead Star Assembly.
Oh, yeah.
And one of their band members was like, "Wow, you're just a little guy. You sure as hell don't look like that in your music videos." Granted, yeah, I'm 6'5", but still, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Camera angles are everything.
right?
Oh, big time.
Camera angles and
I
boost
never
boxes.
met anybody famous, but on my 17th birthday, 17th, 18th birthday, we got to go to the Beastie Boys concert the day before my birthday. And we were right in the front, and this is when MCA had his hair dyed green. Yeah, he was up front giving everybody high fives. I got to give him a high five.
Nice.
The drummer from Pantera, you were there with me, weren't you?
No.
Signed
That
signed
Beastie-
my boob.
Oh, yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was walking around in the audience and I had him
Yes.
sign my boob.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
It wasn't... Yeah.
Nobody I really want to meet or
Was Beastie Boys the concert where you went... I feel like it was one of the friends that I know of.
Yeah, I went
and you
with
got
Jim.
your car stolen?
no.
No?
Yeah, that was Rob's car and we had
That's why I said
Can I talk about my adventure that night?
yeah.
Okay.
We're very not PC
So
on
me
here.
and Rob and Bill and Angie we're all friends from high school, and now we're all young adults when we go to this concert. So we had dropped a tab of LSD, and we go into St. Andrews Hall to see Ween. And one of the Ween guys had gone solo, so he was the opening act. So it was Ween the entire night.
Okay.
Both shows. And the show's over, and we go out to get in the car, find a car, and acid's going pretty good. And yeah, there was no car. And the car that he drove was Dodge Shadow, and that year it happened to be like the most stolen car because it was so easy to break into.
Damn.
Yeah, so we had to cram into a car with like 4 other people that Rob was friends with that just happened to be there. It was horrible.
Clown car and that shit.
It was horrible. It was like a old Buick Century. It wasn't enough
Oh
room.
my god,
It
not
was-
enough room for 8 fucking people.
No. It was horrible.
But the concert was good, I'm sure.
The concert was sweet.
That's all that matters.
Somebody had passed me a joint, and it always happens at a concert. Someone passed me a joint, and up above on the deck, there's a security guard, and boom, as soon as the joint gets in my hands, the flashlight goes right on me, and then it's like they had it all coordinated, and here's tap, tap, tap on my shoulder, and he put it out, so I had to throw it out and squish it on the floor. He said squish it out, so it was destroyed.
Oh no.
You didn't even get a hit first?
No, before I even got it to my mouth, it was like it got in my hands and boof. It's like, oh fuck. But every time I have a joint at any concert venue, I'm always the one getting busted.
I wonder why that is.
Cause God don't want me to fucking smoke and enjoy myself.
I got a smoking story. We were at Hank 3 and Pierre's, and somebody had, and this is a little place, there's been no smoking in Fort Wayne for years at this point. Mm-hmm. And somebody hands me a fucking joint, and it's incredible, awesome. Hank 3, perfect. I hit it, and I look over my shoulder to hand it, and I see some guy, and he's grinning at me. Don't think nothing of it. He don't take it. I hand it to this guy. And then I look back at him, wondering why this guy's grinning at me. It's a guy from work, management.
Oh no.
Yeah. Luckily, nothing's ever been said about it, but I was like shitting the rest of the night.
Do you still work with him?
Yeah, he still works there. I still see him. He never brings it up. I don't bring it up. I'm not bringing it up.
Oh my god.
He had to have known what I was
probably
doing.
best
Hey man,
not
what
to do
happens
that.
outside of work? Just stay outside of work.
Right?
Yeah.
You weren't on the clock.
No, that's true. But the fact that he liked Hank 3 threw me in the first place. And I knew this before we were at the show.
Right.
Unless you're one of those workers that will like take a day off because they're sick or have to take somebody to the doctors or themselves to the doctors, come to find out they took the day off to go to a concert or a festival.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that, post the pictures to fucking Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had guys call off FMLA and do that. It's like, don't post shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they worked with somebody that was notorious about doing that.
Yeah.
We
That's
got a
why
few
I
of them.
said
Yeah, we had one of my ex-coworkers, she called in sick, and then next thing you know, her daughter's posting pictures of her and her mom, which was my coworker, like, going to the park with the girls. She ain't sick. Like, the thing was that the daughter tagged her in the photo. Oh. So Amelia, like, the girl never even took the girl, my coworker didn't take the picture, her daughter did, and got her fired.
But she was tagged in it.
Fired, yes. And she doesn't even, like, know that, realize that what had happened. She just knew she got fired.
I think Steve wants the vape. Is that what you were trying to get?
No, not that thing. No, I just know she was talking in the mic.
Oh,
No, I can hear her.
she fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did turn them down a little bit. That did help with background noise and echo from their side.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about the back vehicle noise. But
Yeah.
Let me move it.
so since we've asked them about meeting any famous musicians or whatever, what about you, Sarah?
We'll go back to my boy band days. And to make Lindsay jealous, I met all of the members of NSYNC. I've met all of In This Moment, some of the guys, lead singer from Framing Hanley. I've met the lead singer of Head PE. Who else? I feel like there's more. Amy and I could have met Susie had she not been worried about getting home. We were standing right outside of her tour bus waiting for her to come out. And we were the only fuckers out there. Well, no, there were like 2 or 3 others, but they were
Like
further
3 or 4
down.
people,
Who
yeah.
is Susie for those that might not know?
Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees. She's like 80s dark wave, new wave.
She's the queen of goth.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Like, what's the song that everybody probably would know?
Peekaboo, probably.
Peekaboo,
Happy House.
Spellbound.
Spellbound, yeah.
Yeah, Happy House. Those are like their 3.
Big ones.
Yeah.
Kiss Them For Me is another big
Yeah,
one.
Kiss Them For Me because it was
Yeah.
on MTV, so that's
Yeah.
probably one people would really know. Even though it's not one of the better ones.
But if they don't listen to music from that era or that type of music, they won't know who it is.
No.
But she's beautiful. Amy and I are at some point going to get her eyes tattooed on us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plot twist, they're actually going to go harvest her real eyes.
Oh.
One's going to get the left eye, the other one's going to get the right eye.
I mean,
Who's gonna get the crossed one?
doesn't matter because we could straighten it out.
Anyway,
True that.
so anybody else there? Can you think of maybe?
I can't, off of the top of my head, I can't think of anybody else.
I can't think of anybody else either.
What about you?
Not really anybody music-wise, but I may have potentially met Richard Petty one time outside of a Toby Keith concert.
Oh.
What the
That's,
fuck are you doing at a Toby Keith concert, man?
there was a time I had a country phase, believe it or not. Oh my god, crazy, I know, right?
What the fuck? What were you, like 15 or 16?
Yeah, like 18 is when that
Avoided on
happened.
Puberty.
And he heard Richard Petty was going to be there, so.
Actually, no. I didn't even know he was going to be there. Just chance happening passing, they were off him and the people he was with. But that guy's accent told me it was. My mom thought it's like, no, that's just looked like just playing around. I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Who is Richard Petty?
He's the king of
NASCAR.
king of
That's
NASCAR.
why I don't
Big
know.
time, yeah.
You know, the closest thing I know to, or anything about NASCAR is now we get 2 Christmases. That's it.
And now also that Bill Elliott holds the fastest speed record for qualifying that I mentioned at the beginning of this episode.
212 miles per hour.
See, she gets it. Now she knows that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The fact that you even pay attention to NASCAR just blows my mind.
Well, he just read it to us.
No, but you like went to that one thing that they always do. Where is it?
We went
500?
to we
No.
went to a race out in Chicago.
Joliet, Chicago.
Because the tickets were
Well,
ridiculously cheap.
yeah.
Because we were like NASCAR tickets are not priced like concert tickets. The closer you are to the track, the cheaper they are. The higher up, they're more expensive.
And we were all the way
We were
at
like-
the fucking top.
For like $70 a piece, and those tickets are like $200 a piece.
I paid $70 for both of them.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't 70 a piece. It was 70
Was
for
it?
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Because of a promotional code we got from our
Sweet.
machinist union that they had posted.
But the view from up there was fucking awesome.
Well, that's why they're expensive.
Yeah.
You get down there, it's going to be loud. It's going to
Yeah.
stink. You're going to probably get some of that rubber on
It's
you.
going to
There's
be real hot.
that. Yeah, it's going to just be ugly.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nightmare all the way around.
Like, even with Sarah, she had told me before in the past that she was not thrilled about going to a race. But when actually going as an adult and
Yeah.
seeing it in person as an adult makes it a whole lot different.
It does.
I think acid would probably help too, but I'm just saying. Mushrooms. I suppose you don't have to go all the way at acid. You could just have some mushrooms.
Yeah, you can just imagine
Go
the
to a
tracers
race.
coming off the
Ah,
cars
fuck.
at 200 miles an hour.
Definitely the portobello kind.
Yeah, that's
Totally
that's the
what
kind you wanna
totally
have,
what he's
the
talking about is
portobellos.
portobello mushrooms. That's the
Funny.
ones he means.
Yeah. But Amy and Steve are actually the ones that got us into vinyl records. They got us our first record player and our first album. My first album was David Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know you guys have a crazy fucking collection compared to ours.
And the
Now you
first
guys
one
are
that they
going to,
got
like,
me was
record store
Ghost.
day and
Yeah.
records
I think when you
conventions.
bought
Yeah.
the one we got her was Aladdin Sane, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep. And then, yeah, we've gone to a record
Convention.
record convention, and that's
Expansive.
fucking hectic.
Cheap to get in, expensive when you're there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
And
get
probably
all
the
the
cost of admission just pays for the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there was a ton of people in and out of there.
And it got worse as we were leaving because we were there early.
Oh, yeah. It
Same with the
started-
one in Fort Wayne. We were leaving, and it was just ungodly.
Yeah, I started getting.
And I thought it was packed
claustrophobic.
when we were in there.
Yeah. Because probably when it's longer days, the worse the snobs come
I
out.
just remember looking at Steve and going, "It's time to go." It was too many people.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't like it when it's two people either.
We weren't even in the record part at that point. We were in the collectibles side because they had a convention room here, all records. Then over here they had comic books, old magazines, trading
toys.
cards, and all that, which is equally as cool. Mm-hmm. So we were over there looking. I think I bought a creepy magazine or something over there, and thankfully, it started getting too busy over there because nobody could get in the record show. They all had to come over here to get in the building, and it was raining out. So it worked out great. She's like, "We got to get out of here."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Go. There was a vendor there that was a special needs person, and I remember watching because it was just amazing. Like this customer was trying to like buy these Pokemon things, and it's like he was trying to hustle the vendor. And you couldn't, man, that kid knew exactly what that was worth when it came, like
Absolutely.
everything. He knew everything about it. Like, you are not getting away with this. This thing's like worth a lot of money anyway.
And the fact that asshole would try and pull one over on that person just
pathetic.
because they
Yeah.
have special needs
But
like
I just
that
remember
is
watching and
infuriating.
thinking, like, you ain't getting shit, buddy.
Hell no.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, he's special needs. He's not going to know any better. The fuck they don't.
Yeah, that's what it was like. He was trying to pull that off, but that kid knew better. Way
Right?
better.
Kid probably knew more about that card in all series and reprints
Than
and
the idiot
reissues
buying
and
it.
Yeah.
The
all
artists
errors
did
that
the
are out
artwork
there.
on
Yeah.
it, and-
Yeah, like when he did it, the exact date when he finished it and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez. That's aggravating. I hate hearing shit like that.
No, it's
Well, it was cool
pathetic.
though
It's
because the
just
kid, I
sickening.
mean, that was trying to screw him over just wasn't happening.
Yeah. It's
Pillow
alright,
ain't gonna
Steve.
cut that out, Steve.
Steve, if you need a drink or anything, it's fine. I can cut it out.
Okay, so
I can cut it out
follow
later,
along.
man. It's
You
alright.
hold up
Block
a
it.
pillow and it's still everybody can hear
You can
it.
hear it.
But it's gonna
And you-
stay in now.
Oh, that's what I was trying to stop.
But it's gonna
Steve's
stay
got a
in
loud
now for
throat.
laughs.
The
Steve.
hell's that sound?
Oh, don't
Something's
worry,
leaking.
because like you guys know, with some of our episodes, I always put some little piece in that got cut out from the main episode after our
Okay.
closed credits, and our last episode was actually me taking a drink. If anybody was wondering what that was,
Yeah.
I'm sure some people thought it's like, when did David start taking fucking bong hits? Nope, that was just me drinking water.
It literally sounded like a bong rip. Like, damn, David.
Shit's about to
Right?
get
I'm sure
real.
somebody that knows me has probably heard that. It's like, oh my god, is he smoking fucking weed? No, I'm still not. Even at 41 years old,
I'm
no.
still not.
Shit's gonna make you walk sideways.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because when I first heard that and I went to trim that out, and I was like, that sounds like a fucking bong rip. I'm gonna keep that.
So, Steve. No, we'll start with David. David, if you had to choose one album out of all the albums we own, what one would be your absolute favorite?
You know that's a hard decision for me. Right
I know,
now
but
with
you're gonna make
everything
one
that
right
I
now.
got.
Oh, if he had to keep only one record out
No.
of our whole collection, oh.
No. Favorite. What would yours be?
It's a toss up almost.
Of what?
Because I almost feel like this is a trick question because of the last one that I bought.
What was the last one you bought?
You seriously, you don't remember?
No.
It's the most important LP.
Oh,
we
the Cell
own.
Dweller album.
Yeah.
No, that you don't know.
Well, you failed.
Yep.
We haven't bought albums in so long. Like I should have remembered that.
Oh, you
Well,
just
that's
failed
not
in the
for us,
romance
too.
department.
Yep.
Yep. Anyways, what would your absolute favorite be?
Oh, I was on the wrong page because since Sarah failed.
I heard that. Swallow, Amy.
I'm not holding anything in.
Oh.
It was just fucking funny.
I
Could
thought
you hear that?
No.
I could hear it in his. He goes,
I've got my own sound
wah, wah,
effects. Yeah, that's what
wah.
happened. Wah, wah, wah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw those in whenever I can.
Okay,
Even though I
favorite.
forget a favorite album right now that we have. Like I said, it's a hard one for me to pick one. Like in my head, Shaky Gray's Rolling Bones 20th Anniversary comes to mind, but I don't know if I would say that's the one.
The one.
That's a tough one, though.
But also, Static X Wisconsin Death Trip also comes to mind.
That
Because,
is a good one.
Yeah, the favorite.
especially when Wisconsin Death Trip came out, it's something like how Wayne Static and the rest of the band is like, this is something fresh and new compared, there's, new metal was coming up with Limp Bizkit, and somehow Rage Against the Machine is considered part of new metal too. Those guys are coming up, and then Static X shows up and changes it even more with what they called evil disco, basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
And literally, that's what Static X would refer to themselves as
Evil disco.
Evil disco. That is what Wayne would
That's
say
it.
their music is evil disco.
It's a good. I mean, yeah, that summarizes it. What about you, Amy? Your favorite album?
I think my favorite album is the one you got me, my Sugar Cubes album, because it's a first print. You are not going to find it anywhere. And it's also one of the rarer variation colors that they offer.
Really? It's a first print?
Yeah, that's a first print.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Wow.
And I also have, well, I guess that would be my favorite.
Well, you
one.
might have looked out with some flipper that didn't pay attention to what it was. Or
Yeah,
just didn't
I got
catch
that
it.
off of Mercari for like.
And that's probably why
cheap.
you got it for what you did. Because if you would have probably bought that on Discogs, probably would have been way more than whatever you.
Especially being a first print. I didn't fucking know that.
And it plays really good.
Yeah, it plays
Damn.
perfect.
Crackle nothing.
Awesome.
I have a
pristine
Creatures
as hell.
album that's literally that's a first print, and that one was like an expensive one off of eBay. But
What
they're up
about
there.
you, Steve? Do you have a favorite album that you own on vinyl?
I would have to say, that's a tough one, like David said. Probably Repo Man soundtrack, because I still remember vividly the day I first heard that cassette tape. It was fucking. But also you got Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin, which was the first thing I was going to say, or the White Album by the Beatles. So, but I would have to say straight up, God damn it. I know Physical Graffiti will get you through a whole bunch of stuff because it's got everything on it. But Repo Man soundtrack is just fucking fantastic.
Is it?
Oh, fuck.
Now,
if
is
you're
this-
into punk at all,
Okay, so
it's
that-
like the fucking... It's got all these fucking great bands at that time. Suicidal were
Iggy
just
Pop.
coming out.
Iggy Pop's on it.
Iggy's on it.
Because
Okay.
my question was going to be, is this Repo the Genetic
No,
Opera?
Repo
or,
Man.
well, you said it was a
No,
soundtrack.
Repo
That's,
Man soundtrack, and it's got Iggy, The Plugs, it's got Fear,
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
was it The Burning Sensations? There's a few other bands that The Plugs are great. They do Hombre Secreto. It's Secret Agent Man, the Spanish version, and it is fucking amazing.
God.
That's the best intro I got.
I think if I had to choose one for me, it would probably be the Concrete Blonde album.
That's a good one.
And
Oh, you listen to it?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
such a good record.
probably the Pixies Doolittle.
Oh, that's
Did I
a
get
good
you
one.
that one too?
No.
That's a fucking
Did
good
you get
album.
that for yourself? Well, you need to get Surfer Rosa. That's even better.
Yeah.
Way better. I love that record.
Yeah,
They're
I'd
neck
have to
and
say
neck
those
for
two.
me. I love both of those. Are like this for me.
It's good.
Surfer Rosa and Doolittle.
I like Surfer Rosa because the guy that produced the record, he left like while they were recording, they'd be talking their dialogue. He left like their dialogue, parts of their dialogue in the songs, and they didn't know that. So yeah,
They were like arguing at one point, right? Or saying they were going to kill the other one.
You know, he was telling Kim, "You go die,"
Yeah.
but he was
That's-
joking around, and you can hear him like defending himself. Yeah,
That's one Steve Albini did.
yeah, that's the guy that produced the record.
Yeah.
He left that stuff in there.
Well, that guy's a genius. His music, Big Black or Shellac, and he's done.
He produced
Several
Nevermind,
bands.
didn't he?
No, that was Butch Vig. He
Oh.
did In Utero.
Okay, I was gonna say I knew he did a Nirvana record.
Yeah. Out of Chicago. And then he did that Surfer Rosa. I didn't even know that until was that last week, 2 weeks ago? We were watching something and I
We
seen
watched
that
a
on there.
documentary about the Pixies. Or maybe it was just
Or
a
Steve
documentary.
Albini. One of the two.
No, it was more about the Pixies and the making of that record, I think.
That was so cool.
YouTube has a lot of documentaries on it.
It does.
Because if you see, like, Dio on there, I didn't look for that shit.
All right.
That's all him.
All right. So, if money was no object, flipping through Discogs, what album would you buy without even thinking twice?
The first 11 album.
The first 11 album, what is that?
Sleeping and Waking or Dream is the name of it. It's out of print. I saw him on that tour. A fucking fantastic album.
Is 11 the name of the band?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I have the CD version, but I want it on vinyl. It's a Susie and the Banshees live, and they're playing in Netherlands, and it was like at some protest. I can't find it on vinyl, and the only place I can find it on is Discogs. Once in a while. And it's like, I think I've only found it once, and it's just, yeah. CDs I can find left and right. I can't find it on vinyl.
Damn. I don't know what I would get.
There isn't anyone that sticks out in your head that you want. If money no object, regardless what price tag was on there, because we've seen some of the things
if
on
she
there.
could hear the records, she'd want them. I know you'd want Surfer Rosa.
I don't know.
I say we come back to you and I can answer, but my answer is I already know mine, and it's a very quick one.
What?
Static X Enter the Shadow Zone is the only one I do not have. Well, other than Cult of Static, but I don't believe that one was released on vinyl.
I know the one I'm looking for now is the one by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs that has maps on it and the
Gold Lion. Yeah. Damn, that was a good
It
album.
was a freaking good. And My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
I made Steve listen to them the other day. I made him listen to the Killers the other day, and then today he's in there listening while he's
Yeah. I heard.
slapping the ham.
It came on. I wasn't listening to it. It just came on.
He wasn't listening to it. He was definitely grooving
came
while.
on.
No, I
Wow.
had ham on my hand. I was
Yeah,
slapping the hell
you
out of his
did.
ham. I can't go touching my speaker and phone with ham on my hands.
Take your little Bluetooth speaker to work, and all your friends are like
Smells like
crowding it
ham,
'cause you smell
Kiesler.
like ham. Kiesler smells like ham.
Yeah, that's
Stevie
just what I need.
Weavens, you smell meaty.
Yeah. I haven't showered there ever in 35 years for a reason.
Because I'm sure the floor probably looks like what your shirt does with all the shrooms on it.
It could very well.
Steve has squeaky lips.
Yeah, he does.
That's the chimp in him.
Sorry. The old breathing tube's clogged. I had to clear it out.
Okay, so segueing into stupidity. Amy, if you could have a superpower, but it had to be slightly useless, what would it be?
A slightly useless
Slightly
superpower.
useless superpower.
I don't know. Can I come back? Can you guys
We'll come back to you. Steve.
Well, if you think about invisibility, it's slightly useless because you got to be naked to use it. It's very seasonal power to have.
It's very seasonal.
You know.
I mean, they won't see shrinkage, so.
No, I won't see any shrinkage. You're gonna still feel it though. I can't believe I got a stomach ache when I'm invisible, but
Yeah,
it's gonna
or
happen if you go bursting outside naked and invisible.
that, or you load it on the Taco Bell 12 pack beforehand, and then
Somebody's gonna notice something.
Oh yeah, you'd have to be on an empty stomach.
Can you imagine that? You're walking, you let one of those fucking wet. Somebody just out of the blue, there's nothing else, and you just see this splash come flying out of nowhere.
that or the sounds alone. Somebody's like, "Get the ghost hunters on the phone."
Oh, there you go.
What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. Slightly useless. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what there would be slightly useless for a superpower.
I think something stupid like being able to open a can without a can opener and not having a pop tab.
I think being a fly on the wall. Because, like, literally, you could be a fly on the wall and listen to all kinds of shit. But what the fuck you gonna do as a fly on the wall?
You can't relay it.
I
Well,
get smashed.
you could
Right.
be a fly with soul. That would have been the best time for Steve to pop in with the
Soul?
fucking harmonica.
Oh, it was a kazoo.
A kazoo.
I gotta say, I got a kazoo. I don't have a harmonica anymore.
was the
Well, I
kazoo.
think I do, but I don't know where it's at.
Yeah. Imagine all the shit you'd hear, though.
That's what I'm saying.
But you couldn't do anything with it. You couldn't tell nobody.
Nope,
You
but
couldn't
at
get
least you
nobody in
knew.
trouble.
No, but I know a few guys at work that how they got hired in. I'd love to have fucking, at the very least, had a
Been a
cassette
fly
tape
on the
of.
wall.
Oh, I'd love to heard this interview.
If they're
If you heard
hiring.
these fuckers speak, can't imagine anyone thinking we gotta have this guy.
Right.
Can't believe some of the broken fuckers I see walk out of there have actually
No, trust me, you
passed
haven't
whatever
met.
physical they needed to
I,
do to
I
get
wish I
in.
could meet. You could meet Lurch. If this guy is something else.
Just gotta bend over and touch your toes. There's motherfuckers there that don't even know they have toes.
I guarantee you they ain't touching them. I can tell you a few guys they couldn't touch their toes if somebody paid them.
Oh.
Okay. So the next stupid question is, if you were a movie or TV character, who would you be? Most resembling the way you are right now.
I ain't touching that one.
Okay.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Well, let's hear what you gotta say.
I got nothing.
Well, that's bullshit.
No.
The first time Steve has nothing to say.
Yeah, that's
Like, I got you,
a fucking lie.
and I got you. I can't think of one for you.
What TV character?
Yeah.
Seriously, you can't think of one?
I do.
Oh, Sheldon Cooper.
Sheldon fucking
Jesus
Cooper, man.
Christ.
I was about to
Yeah.
say.
Sheldon
I
for Halloween.
literally.
Yeah,
I
he
was about
was.
to literally say I was Sheldon Cooper
Okay,
for
so
Halloween
David
one year.
as Sheldon Cooper, you as Roseanne,
Oh, fucking.
and Steve as
I got no clue there.
Chong. Chong's character in that 70s show.
Oh, okay. Well,
But if you ever close your eyes and listen to his voice, he sounds like Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
He does.
He should hear him say, "Tonight I'm going to take over the world."
yeah.
He sounds just like him.
And for me, I don't know. Who would you pick for me?
I would have never thought Chong.
I don't know.
Could be a
don't
TV
either.
show too, right?
Yeah, TV or movie.
I think you're more of a. What was her face? Was it Daria?
Daria.
Do you know
I
who
will
I'm
take
talking-
it. Yes. I will take it. Daria.
She was like a spawn off from the Beavis and Butthead show, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the girls they went to high school with.
Yeah.
Wasn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. I'd take Daria. I'm not even mad about it.
I mean, I could have said Cartman.
True that.
Cartman.
Body stature, yes.
No, man, you do a pretty good Cartman impression too.
I haven't done that in so long.
Yeah, it's
What?
still there.
I had never heard this. I need to hear this.
Yeah, that
now.
was an Amy thing. I used to do that for Amy. I don't even know that I could do it anymore. I'll have to try it at some point, but it ain't tonight.
Oh, come on.
At 8 tonight.
Not
Oh yeah,
tonight.
she can do Cartman.
Yeah, I didn't
Real
know this.
good.
It's also like me finding the pictures from when she went and met in sync at your guys' dad's house in the closet when we were
Yeah.
looking for something, I think.
When did you meet in sync?
They were doing a signing, like an autograph session at one of the local. I want to say it was Harmony House, but it wasn't Harmony House.
Okay.
It was somewhere in Flint-ish, Grand Blanc area.
Okay, it was a record store.
Yes.
Like up in. Okay.
Yes.
It was probably an independent record store then.
I'm at
Yeah, I don't
Queensryche.
remember what it
I'm
was.
at Queensryche at Wood Nickel. Way back.
Who's that?
Queensryche.
Yeah.
Dude, the only song that you would know is a
Silent
song called
Lucidity.
Silent Lucidity.
Yep. I was about to say
Jet
that.
City Woman. Their earlier stuff was way better than that, but who else? Crocus. Saw them at Wood Nickel. Stood there
That sweet
signing
potato pie
autographs.
was good.
Yeah, it was actually.
That was a bit random there.
Well, I burped and
Amy's
Just
having a
reminded me.
conversation with
That's
herself.
so delicious.
He's talking about meeting Queensryche, and you're like, that sweet potato pie was so good.
sorry.
Oh man.
That's our relationship.
Here's a good question.
Oh,
If you could have a deep conversation with any historical figure, who would it be? David, you go first.
oh, geez, there's out of the left field.
Yeah, here, just let me take this hard right turn. And,
I keep making them start.
Fucking
right. So we're now for what 4 or 5 questions into this episode, and here let me just change the order we're asking
Yeah.
people.
oh, totally.
Let me give them time to think this time.
You're going to have, me go first with as many people we've covered on an episode and whatnot.
It doesn't even have to be anybody we've covered.
I know. Even though there is one man I would love to talk to, and he's still alive.
Helge Meyer.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. But who other than him? Although that would be fucking sweet.
Yeah, if they were to get an interview with that, I'd probably be like more nervous than our first fucking episode of like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who was this?
Helge Meyer, he was a Danish commando that made over 160 runs during the Yugoslavian Civil War with a 1979 Z-28 Camaro that he had help modifying with the U.S. Air Force.
Yeah.
So he was basically running humanitarian aid from an Air Force base in southeastern Germany into the now defunct Yugoslavia. Carried no weapons other than combat knives and a hatchet.
And a giant
And
Bible.
Giant, thick Bible like this.
They called him God's Rambo.
And his car was painted with radar-absorbing paint that they used on the stealth fighters. And he was also testing other equipment for the United States military. They're like, you scratch your back, we'll scratch yours if you help us test this equipment. And he did this on his own free will. He saw what was going on in Yugoslavia, and he's like, I gotta help these people because the UN was no longer sending in trucks. So he decided to take it upon himself, and he went to all the countries in NATO to see if they could help, and everybody turned him away except for the U.S. military, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do this. So they beefed up the engine, they stripped out the car, they gave him infrared, night vision, all sorts of stuff for him to basically be under radar, basically. It was like a real-life Knight Rider car that they made. And he would carry like 800 pounds in this car and would still reach like speeds of like 125 miles an hour.
Jesus.
And that was fully loaded down. I can only imagine how much faster this car could have been without the extra weight of all that in there.
Oh, man, just having all that on there and being able to do that.
He got chased by tanks. He got held captive by bandits trying to steal what he had in his car. All sorts of stuff once there was a bounty put out on his head for some pilot, if I remember correctly, that got shot down, and they assumed that he had some hand into it because his car was spotted near where this plane went down in the no-fly zone. So he was being held captive, but his commando training saved his life, basically, and he whipped his car around and turned his lights off and sped off, and they never caught him afterwards.
You know of any books right off the bat?
There is only one book out there, and it's all in German about him.
I was going to say, I'd love to read that.
Yeah. If there was ever an English translation book, I definitely would buy it.
Let me know if you ever find anything about it. 'Cause that's interesting as hell.
He's still alive today, and he's actually donating copies of his books to schools around his area to help learn German and learn about the Yugoslavian Civil War.
You should really listen to the episode that he did on that.
No, I would like to.
It was
That was interesting as hell.
fantastic.
So if you haven't listened to that episode, everybody else, first of all, why haven't you?
Right?
And if you want to listen to it again, it is episode 45, Tongue Twisters and God's Rainbow.
Oh, there you go.
And some other shows that when I've heard about it, they're like, oh my God, why do we not hear about more people like this? Because he just did this on his own free will. And like, I've looked at his Facebook page and to see the things he's sharing. He hasn't shared anything from us yet, even though all of our posts are public. So I don't know if...
He did like one of your posts, though.
I don't think that was him. I think that was a random fan page somebody made, but who knows?
Oh, really?
It's a possibility.
That sucks. I forgot what the question was.
Talked in-depth conversation with historical figures, but
Helge
that
Meyer.
would be my number one.
Okay, Steve.
Ooh.
Actually, my number two would be any surviving veteran of D-Day
Oh, jeez.
before their stories gets lost.
Yeah. Something like that, it would just have to be them talking. I wouldn't even know what the fuck to ask
That
them.
would be here. I would just sit there and with all of this recording and let them talk before their story is lost.
Oh, my God, yeah. I know one of my best friends growing up, his younger brother took his grandpa to see, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
And he said he was crying because watching the shit coming into the beach and stuff, and he said it was the most realistic thing he'd seen. He was in tears over this stuff. And I grew up with this guy too. I knew he was a World War II veteran and everything.
Right.
Never even smart enough to ask him questions or anything.
But
if
you
he
also
would talk
don't
about
want to
it.
ask those questions because of PTSD now. And
Yeah.
than being shell shocked. But it's a double-edged sword. It's like we want to save these stories before they're gone, but we also don't want to ask these stories because who knows what it can trigger. Like one of the videos I watched from a D-Day veteran was him on Omaha Beach with a clump of sand in his hand, and the only thing he said, it's not red.
Oh, yeah. That's just all that. I couldn't
Yeah,
imagine.
because, like, somebody, if I remember correctly, either he scooped it up or somebody put it in his hand, and he's just sitting there looking at it, and all it says is not red from all the blood in it.
Yeah, that is.
And that's one of those moments I had right there. It's like, damn, we need to get these stories before they're gone.
It's amazing what these poor bastards went through. A lot of them quitting school and lying about their age.
Yep,
Like 16-year-olds trying to get in there, 17-year-olds, whatever they could do to go.
Right, because the romance of war was starting to wean off with World War One. Unlike in the Civil War and other wars previous in between, it was a very romantic thing for men to go off and die in war. Like during the Civil War, families would actually go sit up on a hill and for a picnic lunch, basically watching these battles happen. That's one of those things they don't teach you in high school.
Oh, yeah. Well, a friend of my nephew's, he went over to Afghanistan, and he came back. We were going to go see Anthrax live and shit, and he was telling us about, I threw that in there, but he was telling us about watching these firefights. He said it's like watching 4th of July. You just see all these cool explosions and all this. And you're way away from it. You're enjoying this. This is cool. This is.
Yeah.
He goes, then you get to thinking, wait a minute.
There's people actually dying over there.
Yeah, these are people dying somewhere when this shit's hitting. So that whole.
That's fucked up.
Oh, it is way. Well, he said he felt bad about it once he thought about what the hell he was. But I couldn't even imagine dealing with that.
Right, and it's like those people that live out in the suburbs. Oh my god, it sounds like a war zone outside. No, it does not.
Oh.
Yes, I don't even know how that actually sounds like, but no, it's not even close. You're basing what you've seen on a movie.
Yep.
So, before we get too far off track, Steve, historical figure you'd like to talk to, correct?
Ooh.
Is that who you're
To
going
have
with?
to have a deep conversation with.
It would have to be, I don't know if they're considered a historical figure, either Hunter S. Thompson or Kurt Vonnegut. One of the two would be great. Or Maurice Sendak. That would be fantastic, too. I'd probably have to say Hunter S. Thompson, because I can't understand half the shit he says anyway, so it's like perfect.
Right.
I can't hear what you're saying. You keep talking.
I can understand everything he says.
You can? Mm-hmm. Thompson?
Yeah. He's
Some
fucking nuts.
earlier shit, yeah, but some of the later stuff, it's that mumbling Keith Richards type talk. You can kind of tell what he's saying, but you just catch it's like speed reading.
Oh. What about you, Ames?
I don't know. I wouldn't call it a conversation, but to go hang out and watch them create, I would love to go hang out with Jim Henson.
Oh,
Somebody I've
God,
admired
yeah.
my whole entire life and grew up with. Literally my whole life. Everything Henson. Everything Sesame Street.
That'd be cool.
Fraggle Rock, Dark Crystal.
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. All that fun stuff.
Damn, yeah.
Especially when you look at the old stuff.
I'd ask
Jim
him,
Henson just
show
had
me.
these little sock puppet
What is
looking
the
things.
secret?
And it
Wilkins and Wilkins for a coffee company.
oh my God. Is
Yeah.
that
Yep.
fucking amazing? I didn't think about that. That'd be a
Jim
good
Henson and Brian Froud.
Brian Froud's still alive.
Well, I know, but they're like my top.
Oh, yeah. People you would like to pick their brain.
I mean, just hang out and watch what they do.
What, not Olivia?
That's what Facebook Reels are for now. I can watch it on Instagram.
That's true. That's true. She does post her
YouTube,
works in
Facebook,
progress.
Insta. Yeah,
That is true. Fucking social media.
I know, right? Spilling all the
So
secrets.
what about you, Sarah? You haven't answered the question yet.
Well, yeah, because I started with you.
I know.
How convenient.
Yeah, time's up. You gotta come up with an answer now.
I'd like to say this, though. I'd like to go back in time and slap the shit out of the motherfucker that thought bras were going to be a good idea. They have absolutely no idea what kind of torture they're putting all these women through. Just so we're visually appealing to other motherfuckers.
Right.
And by other motherfuckers, I mean everybody with a dick.
Word.
Word.
Not everybody with a dick.
The majority.
I would say maybe a lot of us, but
So for you to smack that, it's going to have to be a lady by the name of Mary Phelps Jacob.
Well, fuck Mary Phelps Jacob.
Who is that?
The person who invented a bra.
That bitch had no sense in her brain.
maybe she didn't have any tits.
Probably not. Oh, if I put this on with some boulders in it, it'll look like I got some boobs. I should have been
Actually,
that goddamn bra
here
burning.
we go. In 1914, the first modern bra was patented by New York publisher, activist, and socialite Curious Crosby, born Mary Phelps Jacobs. Frustrated with a whalebone corset that kept popping through a new party dress, she created the bra from 2 handkerchiefs and some ribbon to create cleavage.
Oh, she definitely had no tits. If she's just using handkerchiefs,
And ribbons.
she had no tits.
Let's see if there is there.
Flat
What the hell
chest
was the point
magoo.
of that?
This came from the Wikipedia about the bra. Let's see if there's a link here for her. Even
Just
though
put some fucking band-aids over your nipples and
They
call
used
it a
to
day.
call them brassieres. It was even worse. It sounded like a torture device. Let me put on my brassiere.
She was built
It
like
is
a
a torture
16-year-old
device.
Justin
Now they've
Bieber.
got them all fancy. Now we've got the new balconette. Get the...
If I wanted my tits standing on a balcony, I'd be on a fucking balcony with my tits out.
Right.
there's very few
It's
photos
so-
of this lady, so it's going to be remaining a mystery, basically.
But for me, I don't know so much that I just want like deep conversation, but somebody from history that I would love to hang out with, even for a day, will be David Bowie.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
For a day.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking hour, I'd be happy with that.
Be an artsy day for you.
Yeah, sure would.
Heck yeah.
Oh, just he always seemed to be such a normal fucking person. He never even on the weird shit when he was doing interviews. He just sounded like a normal fucking guy.
I would have one request, though, for him. And that would be to be wearing the Jareth pants.
Of course you would.
The what pants?
The Jareth pants.
from the movie Labyrinth.
Oh,
Yeah, going back to, famous people being short, that's what I was surprised by, how he
was tiny.
seeing
short
the,
guy.
the ballroom
God,
outfit,
yeah.
the Jim Henson experience.
Yeah, he was a
I
tiny
always
dude.
figured he was like my size.
Same.
And then we saw the costumes from the Labyrinth there in that case, and I was like, holy shit, he was a tiny dude.
How
well, I always
was
thought
he?
Danny Trejo was big. And then we
Danny
Right,
Trejo's
we
saw
fucking
him.
tiny.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
another one of those.
He's a people
But
McNugget,
could
dude.
you
was like-
imagine, like, he was, like, people were afraid of him in prison. Like, he was a badass in prison.
Well, he
We
was a
watched him-
boxer. He was like the best boxer.
This little
in prison.
tiny dude, what it's like he must have, like, climbed these guys like a monkey or something, man.
No, if you're boxing, you're just gonna beat the shit out of him. It's like,
True that.
yeah, I thought he
guess, but
was.
Yeah, he's
I
a tiny,
figured this
tiny
great
individual.
big fucking spooky guy, and I seen him. He'd still kill you, but
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
that was a big regret, though, not getting my picture taken with him. I would have got down on my knees so it looked like he was taller. Who else was there? Oh, the bass player for fucking Megadeth that got fired wanted $20 for an autograph. It's like, motherfucker, I met Dio twice. He didn't ask for a goddamn thing, and he was so fucking happy to see
Well,
me.
here's the thing. Did you meet Dio just, like, I guess you could say out on the street, or did you meet Dio at a
No, it was
convention? or
behind
something?
no, it was behind a concert. So yeah, that's true.
So-
You're right. I got to give you that one.
So, because, I mean, you met Dio just out on the street doing another, but there's this guy, he's at this thing trying to make money.
Yeah,
that's the huge
true.
difference
I
between
think
the
that
two.
is why he's there too, is to make money selling autographs. Well, like all the other people. You know, Danny Trejo, it's $10 for a picture. The lady that did the white face thing in The Exorcist, when they just show that spooky face every so often, she was there, and I think she was charging for autographs, which. I kind of understand it, but when it's somebody who's into music-wise, it just kind of irks you. It's like, really? Come on, man.
Yeah.
So,
Like, because they still have to pay for a spot and everything, and that's how they're making money.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not doing, or, out on tour if they're a musician, or if they're an actor, they're not making a movie or television show or whatever. That's how they're making their money,
Yeah.
other than, the royalties. But, royalties have to have X amount of whatever plays, views, or whatever for
I
their...
hope you're not getting
to
screwed
accumulate.
by the people, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's when it happened. I wasn't thinking of that. Now that I agreed 100% with what you're saying.
You know, like one of the people that were there at that con that we all went to, he bailed out because he wasn't getting the return that they promised him, and he went to, so he dipped out and went to Indiana Comic Con where he knew where he was going to get that.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't help that he was sitting there looking like he didn't want to fucking be there.
No, that was probably the thing too. He probably didn't want to be there because of how small it was. It's unfortunate that one went under, but I went poking around trying to find out if it was ever going to come back. But
And that was what, HorrorCon?
the NecroCon, I think, is what it was.
No, it wasn't NecroCon.
It was like HorrorCon or something, but you're talking about the one
Yeah,
we
the
went
one
to?
we went to at the convention center in
NecroCon.
Fort Wayne.
People got to remember, though, it's Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne's lame as fuck. It's going to take at least 2-3 rounds before... Record Store Day used to be fucking fantastic because there was people there. Not like it is now. Nowadays, it's like the mall at Christmas time. It's like, fuck this. It ain't worth it. You know? I mean, and that's what that place needed, I think.
And a lot of the...
Couple years of getting fucked, and then...
Well, not only that, like I said, I went poking around about it, trying to find out if it was ever coming back. A lot of the people that were there didn't get paid that they were supposed to. Like, he literally had no money. He barely broke even, I guess, from what I understand. And I didn't even be able to pay people. Like, the guy that owns the Goblin Head, he didn't get paid. A lot of those people didn't get paid like they were supposed to.
Well, that sucks big time. Well,
Yeah, because I really
that's
liked
why we
that.
can't get cool shit in Fort. It was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that he picked too big of a venue for what he had.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion on it. He went too big too early.
Yeah, I can see that.
Unlike the Hall of Heroes Comic Con from, up where Sarah and I live, that first year, they underestimated how many people were going to show.
Yeah. They had to stop people at the door until more people came out so they could let more people in.
Oh, that's fucking sweet, though.
They-
That place was awesome. Though.
Oh, man. This year at their con, the guy that played Opie in Sons of Anarchy, did you watch that? Oh, God. He was there. I would have loved to have met him.
Is Sons of Anarchy good?
Fuck yeah. What would you say about Sons of Anarchy?
It was a pretty good show. For
Yeah, it's good.
What it
I'm
was.
always late, like years late to a show, though. Like, I just finished watching Sopranos with him.
I'd never
like a
seen The
month
Sopranos,
ago.
so don't feel bad about that.
I've never seen it either.
I never had my interest in, like, Sons of
But
Anarchy
then,
didn't.
like, Dexter, I'd always been thrown by Dexter just because of the name. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know what? It's a show about a serial killer that kills serial killers.
All right, so there's a question. So, anybody in the true crime world, if you have a name off the top of your head, who would you want to have a conversation with about why? Why you did what you did?
What was the question?
I was trying to reach the cricket button because I couldn't
You could
reach
go
it.
talk to any serial killer.
True crime subject doesn't have to be a serial killer. Anybody in the true crime world that's been talked about either on Macabre Emporium or any other podcast television show you've ever watched.
There's a lot. It's hard to choose from.
Yeah, there's two that I have come to mind.
I had one immediately.
Technically three, and one of them we could probably technically talk to his son still. Jody Plachey, his father.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is in a group that I'm in.
Okay. I do
hold on,
have
hold on.
somebody. What?
My beard hair got stuck in the screen. Steve might have heard that little
I
tink.
heard something. I didn't know
Yeah,
what the hell
that
I
was my
hearing.
beard hair popping out of the screen there is what that was.
That's
I know what the hell I was
David.
Mine, I would want to talk to William Clyde Gibson and ask him why he went to Hooters and played with a dead lady's titty in his pocket while he was eating.
It's
Yeah,
inquiring minds want to know.
For real.
that's
Like,
one-
out of all the shit, why would you stick her titty in your pocket and fondle it while you're eating?
It's a little different.
Who would you choose, Ames?
Who would I choose? God, I don't know. True crime. I don't know, man. I'd like to. I don't know. Can I pass?
You can.
I don't know, dude. There's like a lot of them. Like all of them. Like why? What the hell was going through your mind when you did this shit? Like once you got to the point of violence where there's no coming back, did your stomach ever turn? Did you ever think, oh my God, what have I done? Why, But they didn't, because their brains are broken.
Yeah.
Another one would be probably the Oakland County child killer. So at least then we'd know who did it.
Yeah. That's a mystery that's never been solved.
Probably never will be.
Well, if there's any evidence that hasn't been tested and run it through CODIS, they might be able to. Unless they already did that.
This was like back in the 80s, early 80s.
Don't think
As long as they kept.
CODIS was around yet in the 80s.
No, but if they kept certain things, which I doubt they did.
No,
from back
they
then.
probably keep a lot of that stuff. Hold on, let's see when was CODIS created? If you don't know what CODIS is, it's actually a DNA database. Oh, it was created in 1990. So no,
Yeah, it wasn't out
but
then.
if there's still evidence, they could possibly retest it if they had probable cause to test it again to see what DNA profile they would come up with pieces that haven't been tested already.
What about you, Steve?
Immediately would be Ed Gein. And then I think maybe Albert Fish.
That's
after
what it was.
that.
Yeah, and again, dude, why
Just
were
a-
you making nipple belts, bro?
Yeah, well, a
Yeah.
whole bunch. Well, he was into reading stories and about fucking shrunken heads and all that bullshit. And
Grave
he-
robbing and shit.
Well, yeah, but he was into these stories, these exotic stories from the West Indies or wherever the fuck they said they were from. He'd get these magazines and read about it. He actually babysat kids.
Ew.
He was eating at a family's house when they came to get him for killing, what's her name? Something Warden. The one that he got popped for.
Was it the cop's mom?
Yeah. She worked at the hardware store. But anyways, they went to his place to see what's going on, and that cop's mom is hanging there, gutted and hanging, drawn and quartered like a deer. Not drawn and quartered, but got the things
Like
through
basically
the back.
field dressed like you would a
Through
deer.
the soft
Yes, it
spots
was
of your ankles,
just
bend the
hanging there.
backs.
I had a book at one time where it actually showed pictures
Makes
of
my
this shit. And
ankles
they weren't
fucking ache.
blurry pictures. They were decent pictures. I'm like,
Ew.
that guy would be interesting to talk to.
Could you
I
imagine
think.
being a cop and walking in and finding your mom hanging from... Oh my God.
But he was just like the most innocent guy. He
How-
wasn't crazy. He wasn't. He was.
You know how much
obviously,
restraint it
but
would
just-
take from killing that son of a bitch that did that to your mom?
Yeah, probably
Oh,
other
fuck.
responding officers were like,
Yeah.
George, come on, I gotta show you this over here.
Yeah.
No, your mom's not calling you. You just need to come over here,
that
kind of
would-
thing.
But speaking of moms, like Ed Kemper,
Oh, Jesus.
like
Lord.
why?
That's beyond.
Just to ask him, why did you feel it was okay to stick your pee in your mom, like in her head? Just why?
Well, she was a fucking bitch.
Yeah, but that still doesn't give you the right to
that
screw
don't-
a
No,
windpipe.
No, that don't give. But from hearing how his mom was
Yeah, but he
and
still
how she treated him,
like.
like she treated him like shit and made him like sleep in the basement and shit.
Yeah, I know, but he
Having
still
her best
stuck
friend
his
come over
he
for
did,
his
dinner.
dick in her mouth.
Because his brain's
yeah.
broken too. Fucking dumbass.
But he's
mother-
so fucking intelligent.
Well, there
Yeah.
are people that are so smart that they don't know how to comprehend any kind of common sense.
They
Clearly.
hung out with the cops.
There's no room
He'd
in
sit
their
there
brain.
and eat dinner with the cops
Yeah.
and talk to them. And
Yes. Oh yeah,
Hey,
that
what
was the
about
one. He
this
would
and
like
that?
case the. He would sit there at the bar with the cops.
Yeah, he would hang out the cop bars just
That's
listening for
right.
details.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh no, we broke the big six where we talked about Ed Kemper on
Talk
the
about
show.
being overly confident.
Seriously.
Like,
Yeah, even there was one time he got pulled over, if I remember correctly, while he still had one of his victim's body in the trunk.
I read that.
And they're just like, no, Ed, you're fine. It's like, seriously, bro?
Was he like, did he work on the college campus that he was kidnapping girls from? Was he a security guard? No, he wasn't a security guard.
As much as you think Sarah and I would have heard about him, we couldn't remember, but other people have pushed him out of our brains basically at this point.
Yeah.
I haven't read any serial killer
There's
shit
an
for
interview
years,
with
but-
him on YouTube that you can watch, and it's like he just talks about everything.
I would
with
like to
absolutely no-
find some of the audiobooks that he has read for the blind.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, like he's read Flowers in the Attic, he's read the Star Wars
Of
novels.
course he would read that.
There's all sorts of books that
Could
he
you
read.
imagine him reading like the incestuous parts of that book?
Mother.
Like,
Mother.
I don't want a
That's a
nighttime
joke for
story anymore.
Of course, you know, some people are going to get that somewhere and be like, what the hell is that about?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's real
All right,
icky.
so I guess it's up to me now.
Yeah. You said you had a couple.
Yeah.
Could they be?
Should we make Sarah guess again?
Did I guess the first time?
You did on the historical figure one.
Oh. Who would you want to talk to, serial killer wise?
Well, it doesn't have to be serial killer. It's true
True
crime,
crime.
subject related.
Um.
And it said Gary Pluchet obviously is
Yeah,
just
clearly.
to, but there's so much out there now, you know, or possibly talk to his son still, get an insight from his son about how his father really was. But anyhow,
Damn, if I had to choose again
as a guess,
for you.
I don't know. This is kind of fun making Sarah guess to see
The
if she's
dead
right.
man's line guy?
That is actually one of the answers.
Okay.
That
So
was-
there's more than one answer?
That was number 2.
Okay, so I have to choose number 3 now?
No, you'll be choosing number 1 now.
Number 1.
Ooh, it's getting tougher. Narrowing it down.
Sure, like I'm failing tests left.
I'm
and right.
surprised that it didn't pop out of her head immediately.
Andrew Kehoe?
Exactly.
Who's that?
Andrew-
Bath Township.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. That guy.
And that's also one of those historical figure things. Not so much him, the survivors of Bath Township,
Another
because
anarchist
of
gone wrong.
all those stories are now gone because of the way we would treat mental health in those days. Would be like, oh, just suck it up, don't worry about it, you know.
Yeah.
Because when we did meet with the children at the Bath Township Museum, one of them had specifically said his father never spoke of it until they started driving back and forth to the board meetings for the museum. That was like the only time his father had ever talked about it this entire life was towards the end when he was older, when his son was driving him back and forth to the board meetings for the Bath Township School Museum board.
It's not something you really want to try and talk about,
Right,
especially if you're right.
yeah.
there
Like I
to
said,
see
it's
it
a
all.
double-edged sword. We don't want to talk about it because of what it could possibly trigger, but we're going to lose these stories because, you know, if mental health treatments were different, you know, even 15 to 20 years earlier than what, you know, how things have been in the last 5 years. Just how much more stories and informations on that alone could we have gotten
Yeah.
on all of that? To paint a better picture, lack of a better term, of how that day was May 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. After seeing, like, the tiny little school desk, the tiny little chairs, like, these were little kids, dude. I don't know that I could...
Especially back
Civilly
then,
talk
because
to that guy.
obesity wasn't a thing, so they had little
Right.
tiny desks. Yes, they were little.
Yeah.
I've seen those before.
Like,
Like, how in the hell did these people
tiny
even fit?
little chairs.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, that's horrible.
yeah.
I remember reading about that.
Right, we went up there
Years ago.
the day of we were getting ready to record the last part of it, that we decided to make its own separate thing, even though it was only 30 minutes long. We decided to go up there, and it was probably the best decision episode-wise we've ever decided, because I honestly know it's too far of a drive right now.
Did I tell you about the Bath Township thing that happened, or did you?
Yeah,
had to
you kept going on about it, and it was like, oh, you need to do the one from Michigan or the farmer
Yeah.
blew up stuff. And then I was actually in your kitchen writing one of the episodes about that while you were saying that to me.
Yeah.
And then I just looked up at you and I held up the book. I'm like, so literally what I'm doing right now.
I just was like, did you already know about it? Because I had found it on Court TV's when Court TV was around their website.
And
I miss that station, dude.
So do I.
it's like, even though I have all the other books, I have yet to read them. I wish I would have had them when I did those episodes because of who much knows how much more I could have put in. But it's also I guess you could say, I don't know how to put it. I guess it's really personal because, one of my really good friends now, that's how I met them in a really roundabout way, because one other podcast was on at work listening to about it, and my coworker was like, dude, put it on somebody else about talking about this because this guy's falling asleep. So I looked it up, and that's how I found our friends in Vermont, was their episode on that. And coincidentally, that is the same day we're actually meeting them for the first time face to face, is May 18th this year.
Oh,
Which is the anniversary.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Funny how life
It's
works.
weird how the universe works that way.
In it though.
Got any other?
No, I can't think of anything else. We're at a minute
Questions?
14-ish.
I think John Dillinger would be a cool one to interview
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Supposedly my grandma went to high school with him. That's what my dad told me when I was a kid. I have no idea. I know he was from Indiana, and best of my knowledge, they're both hillbillies. So
Or what about John F. Kennedy's entourage the day he was shot?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Because there's like a video out that's saying everything that they show on TV is edited, and they show the original video. Well, there's this part that they show in the edited video where there's a tree that's by the car. That part of the tree is totally cut out, so it almost looks like a tree behind a fence or like a tree in the background.
Yeah.
But they show the original video, and the tree goes all the way down into the ground. But what they're showing, who the shooter was the driver of his car. They show that he turns around, shoots, and just...
No, well, here's the thing I said with that. How many people were on the street that day when Kennedy got shot?
Thousands.
Right. Do you not think that one of those thousands of people would have came out and said that, yeah, I literally, more than one person would have came out and said
But what about
it
the
was the
people
driver that shot?
probably
Easily.
did come out and could have been just shut up because they
That's
had,
true. They could have technically
what I
fell
mean?
out of a window, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause it for a second so I can take a couple puffs. We're going again. All right, so since we've talked about true crime, historical figures, we haven't touched on, our other meat and potato subject of the paranormal or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So what about, we'll start with you, Sarah.
Let me think. Okay, so when Amy's ex-husband's mom was in the hospital passing away, I stayed at your house
I remember.
to watch your boys,
I already know what you're going to say.
and the youngest one, it was nap time. I, put him in bed, and he was in there talking, and then went quiet, and I thought he had fallen asleep. And then I hear him talking again, and I was like, what the heck's going on? So I went in there, and I asked him, who are you talking to? And he said, Grandma. And I said, Grandma with the dogs, or Grandma, and then his mom's name. Mm-hmm. And he said Grandma with the name.
Yeah.
And it was not even 5 minutes later, you called me and told me that the ex's mom had just passed away.
Yeah.
But your son had told me, when I asked what she said, that she had told him it was time to take a nap and that she loved him.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
It was like she made her rounds before she left,
Yeah.
and she stopped at your house to say,
Goodbye.
her goodbye.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was fucking weird,
I
dude.
forgot all about that.
Yeah.
times.
remember.
And I forgot that was there, apparently.
Did you just kick the table?
And there again, and do it again. The first time wasn't enough to blow out someone's eardrums on that.
Yeah.
That was a weird.
That was fucked up. And I didn't correlate the two until, like, after the fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was weird as fuck to think back on.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was weird. Little Alex.
Yeah.
He was like maybe.
Well, let's
Two or
open it
three,
up to
three
more
or
than
four?
just, a paranormal, and more, I guess you could say, an unexplained event that you've ever experienced, I guess you could say.
That was pretty unexplained.
Right. Paranormal,
So, I have
supernatural,
one.
unexplained event that
An
has no true, real, rational explanation.
So one night, this was after my mother-in-law had passed away. This was like maybe 3 or 4 months. And I'm laying in my bed, and my ex-husband's laying next to me, but he's like got his back to me. He's dead asleep, not moving. I'm lying there wide awake, and we had a pit bull at the time, and I thought he was getting up on the bed because it felt like my dog getting, and he was like an 80-pound, 90-pound dog. He was heavy, and I could feel the mattress going out, like giving way beneath my feet.
Like your feet were actually off the mattress.
Yeah, like I could feel the mattress going down. So I looked up to see if it was my dog, because I was going to tell him no. But when I looked up, I could see him laying at my doorway, and it flipped me out. Like there was something sitting on the end of my bed. And that was the very first time I ever like spoke out loud to nothing, because I was afraid. Like I go, I don't know who you are. I'm not ready for this. Go away. And it never happened again. Yeah, I was freaked out.
I remember you telling me about
Yeah.
that.
But I was like, at that time, I was like really into like learning about psychic stuff and that paranormal stuff. It seems like the more I pay attention to it, the more things happen. The less I pay attention to it,
Yeah.
the less I notice.
Yeah.
But still, I notice stuff when I'm not even trying.
Ugh. What about you, Steve?
Only thing I can think of is after my wife had died, I was walking through the parking lot at work going to my car, and I thought because occasionally you're walking and they got little gravel and stuff, it'll pop up into your shoe. And I felt it, and I'm like, I'm just going to wait till I get home. I'm not fucking with this in the parking lot. I got home, I took my shoe off and shook it, and St. Christopher's medal fell out. And I didn't think anything of it. I put it up on with the other stuff, and I got to thinking about it, and the day that popped in my shoe was her birthday. So that was kind of weird, because she was raised Catholic. We weren't religious at all. She wasn't religious at all towards the end. So that was just kind of fucked up. And then
Damn.
that's about it. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever really had any.
There was that one night we were sleeping in bed, and your brother's picture fell off the wall. And you say it was around the time of his birthday?
No, I said I looked to see if it was.
Oh.
That was weird, though.
That house, yeah, it was like drilled into a plaster wall.
Yeah.
Like those old plaster
No, that was
walls.
into the... Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was
that was
the old
plaster.
ones. And it had been up there for a
Years.
few years.
And it just suddenly just
We were
fell off the
sleeping.
wall.
Yeah,
and just
dropped
Fell on
straight down.
top of a ceramic dragon I had been painting. Cracked it in half.
Busted everything from the shoulders up off of it.
Went from
That place was kind of creepy, though.
yeah.
it was a little
Should have
off-putting
been down
there.
the basement. It was pretty
No,
crazy
no,
looking
thank
down
you.
there. Different rooms and shit. All
Even
dirt floor.
The few times we did admit, before you guys moved to where you are now, I was always in a very anxious state to not fucking be there. Anytime,
yeah.
like, when we come here now, I'm okay with it. And before, it's like, I don't want to fucking go there. When you're at your guys' old place, I did not want to fucking be there.
What was a 100-year-old house? Almost 200.
Yeah, it was built
150
in
years
what,
old?
1819? It's on a plaque on the front of
Yeah,
the
I-
building.
And yeah, if you go down there, you look in the basement and stuff, it's all dirt.
Right.
There was a set of steps that went up. And if you looked up at the top of the steps was our bathtub.
Right.
So it's that was kind of weird. I tried not to creep her out. I said, well, if you're ever taking a shower and you hear a knocking
on the bottom of the tub,
let me know, because it goes right to the basement.
Oh my God, that was really creepy.
So, like your tub, the bottom of your tub, you could touch from the basement?
Yes.
Oh, hell no.
Yes.
Just the way it was.
If if the floor ever gave way and did one of those money pit numbers, I'd have been like sliding down the stairs. Boom, 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 boom.
That's a movie I've not thought of in forever.
There's only about 4 or 5. Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it was. And plus, when in the wintertime, because there was like no heat down there, it was cold in that bathtub. Like, ooh.
Yeah, anytime we ever visited you guys at your old place, I'm like, I don't want to fucking be here. I want to go back fucking home already. And now that where you guys are at now, I'm totally fine with being here.
Yeah. He was real uneasy in that other house.
Yeah.
Again, it's as old as it was with all that's gone on in there.
Right.
God only knows what all is going on in there.
Right. It's like with the stuff that we bought for that investigation in May, it's just like, I kind of wish we fucking had it now.
Oh, I know. I wish you would have. I really wish you would have. I would have got you down the basement for sure. Because there were electrical outlets down there. We could have plugged shit in.
Well, none of it's all battery operated, so I wouldn't need an
even
outlet
better.
for that stuff. So.
Fuck yeah, we'd have been down there checking shit out.
Yeah, that laser grid probably be
I
better.
don't know anyone that lives there anymore now, so I can't get us back in there.
Missed opportunity. I'm sure there's be ones in the future for people
We're too old to do trespassing.
Yeah, any of that stuff we want to do it. We want to do it correctly.
Yeah. Don't trespass.
No, I'm not going to do that
It's
I'm not doing trespass for
It's not
content.
that serious.
I'm not breaking. I'm not breaking the laws on a true crime podcast for content. Not doing it.
I think that if you guys ever wanted to do a good like kind of investigation, is to go out there like on the grounds where Clinton Valley used to be. There is a neighborhood there now, but there's also other like grounds back there that are just nothing.
Yeah.
But people were buried back there. And from what I heard, that they either dug up the bodies that were there or they were just built over. And now that's like the whole foundation of
this new neighborhood.
What is that movie with the little girl?
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. That's a whole
it's
poltergeist.
a very good possibility because one of our very first episodes that we did, I did an episode on Crown Hill Cemetery in Indianapolis just because of how large that place was and how many significant people of history are actually buried there. Looking into it like that, some of them are actually been reinterred, deceased that were from another cemetery, and even years later in the mid 80s where that original cemetery was, they continue to find more when they were excavating for building expansions and other things on that property. There's even one in downtown from where, it's sitting near us. There's always been there, like when they first went to add on, they found a cemetery there, and it's still believed that there's still bodies there, but they'll never know until they go to demolish said building.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like one of those local rumors. Oh yeah, there's still bodies on the property, but nobody can actually really confirm that. It's an old school building right there.
By my work?
Yes,
Okay.
like by the overpass. It's been closed up for fucking ever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the building I'm talking about.
Ah.
I can't remember the street
Imagine
side
being
it's
a
on.
construction worker digging that stuff
My
up or
God.
Oh
tearing
yeah,
down and finding
yeah.
that.
Because like the one in Indianapolis I was talking about when they were doing the expansion, that's what they had. They found one of the old style lead coffins that they had unearthed, if I remember correctly, is what it was when they were doing an expansion on the building that was currently on this property.
Oh.
And that cemetery had closed in because of a lot of the bodies were being snatched up because there's a lot of medical schools in Indianapolis, and bodies were being snatched up from it because that was a common practice thing, was to go grave rob for bodies and not valuables to sell the skeletons off to medical schools. So like H.H. Holmes was basically that's what he was doing too.
That guy was fucking crazy. And you got Burke and Hare, they were the ones that started doing that body snatching shit. The reason they got popped was because the guy sat on some guy's chest and it impressed his button into his chest. So they had the impression, so they knew he didn't just die. That's how they end up getting
Forensic
popped.
science before it was even a thing.
Right.
It was crazy shit.
Don't they do tours in Illinois?
Yeah, they do ghost city tours
Yeah.
through Chicago.
Yeah, I feel dumb. I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
H.H. Holmes?
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
He's been
We
crowned
watched it.
America's first serial killer, basically, with his murder castle.
It was what? It was
I don't think I remember that one.
what, the World's Fair or something, wasn't it?
That is alleged. They can never actually confirm if he actually used the 1893's World Fair to get murders. But I would say with, I guess you could say high confidence that probably was a thing, but it can't really truly be confirmed that that was an
where it
actual
came
thing.
from.
So
Okay.
what did he do? He was just a grave robber?
No,
Well,
he was a
built
serial
this
killer.
Big
Oh.
fucking hotel with shitty fucking secret walls, shitty walls, shoots down to. He had gas run into some rooms so he could gas people.
I'd never heard about this guy. What the hell?
We
Yeah.
watched a thing on him a long time ago.
Yeah,
It's-
he's-
It almost sounds like American Horror Story.
Yeah.
It is. It doesn't even sound real. When you're reading this
Hotel,
stuff,
Yeah.
you're like, "There's no way," and then you find out it
How long did
actually
he get away
happened.
with that shit for?
I'm not sure exactly.
Well, he killed like a whole family at
Yeah,
one
they
point.
speculated it's anywhere between 200 to 200 people is what he killed, but they can never actually confirm that.
When was this?
In the late 1800s.
Yeah, I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah,
Ever.
It's interesting.
Never
Very
heard of that.
interesting shit. But if you think about it, people coming from all over the place to go to this hotel. Okay, they checked in, they checked out. I mean, what's
So
to tell you?
some people got
They just
lucky
never
and
did
got
check
the
out.
safe rooms, and some people just it was all random.
It's
Yeah.
a possibility. He probably also had a specific profile hit he would go after too, would be my guess.
Wow.
I mean, you listen about H.H. Holmes so many times, like for Sarah and I, as we've always listened to true crime stuff, and you just kind of don't remember the details anymore because you've heard it so much, and we've stuff's been getting pushed in one way and it's out the other, because we're focusing on lesser known stuff, like the H.H. Holmes and the Jeffrey Dahmers and Gacy's and Ramirez's and stuff like that. We're not paying attention to those anymore.
Everybody's beating that horse like,
Did you guys see the article that was out the other day about some guy who had just found a body at a train track and had gotten hit?
and he took the leg and was eating it? Fuck yes,
The
I saw
neighbors
that.
Called in the cop 911. 'cause
Yeah.
There's some dude walking around with a man's leg, just
Yes,
taking bites out of it.
eating the leg.
Yuck.
Yes, I saw
was like,
that.
Steve.
I didn't read it. I
I
saw
woke
the
up to
headline.
that. I'm like, Steve, there's somebody eating some guy's leg.
Had to be high on bath salts.
Yeah, could you
I had
imagine just
something for
biting
that.
into some
Something.
hairy ass random stranger's leg?
And that's gotta
Hairy.
take a really strong bite
Yeah.
to pierce the skin,
Yeah.
Well, the revulsion would have to be gone first off.
Not if you're high, I guess.
I mean, though,
Like that kind of high. He was
Yeah.
on something for sure.
Oh yeah.
Had to be.
Had to be. How do you just walk up on a act? How are you
Yeah.
for one the first person there? Just I found a leg and just it looks like
Maybe it
Nom
was
nom
still
nom
like-
nom.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
still warm.
maybe he just saw like a huge turkey thigh just sitting there. and
Like
thought he was
cartoon
gonna run
does.
fast and
like the old Tom and Jerry cartoons where
Yeah.
they turn into a giant ribeye steak.
yeah, yeah.
That could have been it.
So,
Jesus.
yeah.
Meat's a little
funny.
chewy.
Ugh.
Ugh, yeah.
That's
Well, there's a
what-
Bugs Bunny cartoon where the fucking little fat guy sees the tall, skinny guy as a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the tall, skinny guy sees the little guy as a cheeseburger, and they start trying to eat each other because
Yeah.
they can't catch Bugs Bunny to eat him.
God.
He looks over at him, and you just sees this hot dog.
I've never been
standing
so hungry
there.
that I've looked at David's leg and been like, damn, if that was severed, I'd be knobbing that
That
motherfucker right
motherfucker
now.
nods
Nobody
off.
knows
Yeah,
I'm
my
going
legs are a
with it.
little lean for that, so
Yeah. We do.
I think a mild nibble on my rib cage or elbow, I think I'd be waking up.
Ooh, not the weenus.
Oh yeah, no, that definitely wakes me
If I
up.
owned a
That's what they call the skin on your elbow. It's the weenus.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know where we were going with this. All I know
if
is
I
I
owned
got
a restaurant
teeth
that
on my
sold
weenus,
human
we
meat,
got
I'd call
problems.
it cafeteria. Get it?
What?
I said if I owned a restaurant that sold human meat, I'd call it cafeteria.
Cafeteria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when we talked about? Do you remember?
Steve hates my sense of humor.
Do you remember?
I don't hate it.
Amy,
I appreciate it.
do you
It's
remember
just-
when you and I were just fucking around one day and we were like, if we ever opened a kitchen, you're like, you'd be front of house and you would be the one cooking. And you already had a name picked out and everything.
Yeah.
Remember what it was?
Yeah.
What was it?
Not your mama's kitchen.
Nacho Mama's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Spelled like a nacho.
I think, yeah, and they're spelled Nacho. Nacho Mama's Kitchen.
Nacho Mama's
But I
Kitchen.
swear there's like a restaurant out like that's called that. Cause
Oh, there's gotta be.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, there's probably a restaurant there called I Don't Care.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't care.
I thought about having a restaurant that specialized in whatever, like breakfast egg dishes, and call it liquid chicken.
Oh.
I come to the liquid chicken. We
Boneless
got everything
children.
you want.
Boneless children.
Boneless children, there you go.
That's what Dee calls semen, dude. She calls it boneless children.
Wow. But I'm not surprised at the same time.
No.
Not
no.
surprised by that.
Fucking
The
boneless
kids that are
chicken.
not going up for adoption.
Yeah, but just imagine that, you're on a first date. So just imagine you're like on a first date with somebody and they're like, "Oh, you want to get something to eat?" And you're like, "Oh, I don't care." And then that's where they literally take you.
Everything on the menu is, I don't know. I don't give a shit.
No, it's
Whatever.
just menu's regular stuff, but the name of it is I don't care,
Yeah.
It could be like one of those mom and pop breakfast places that's only open for breakfast and lunch, but the name of it's I don't care.
Would be a good one.
Yeah.
Just the look on their face is like, son of a bitch, it's real.
How the fuck did you find this place?
I don't know.
I didn't even know I wanted it.
Just it was there.
Serves a little bit of everything.
So then we got off topic on it. I never got to my paranormal unexplained
Yeah.
thing.
True
Even
that.
though I have quite a bit.
You do.
I have already told like my biggest one on more than one show. And I've done it in our Halloween bonus episode, so I'm going to skip that one. My time at the fire station. That's like the biggest one. I would love to get in there with equipment, but I know it's not going to happen.
Well, tell it. I want to hear it. Please.
We'll go back to our Halloween bonus episode and you can hear it.
Okay. Fine, I will.
We'll give you a rundown after this.
Okay.
But it's like I never saw anything else on my time of public service with that. I mean, I've seen some weird, bizarre shit happen, but nothing that could fit under the unexplained, basically. And weird, bizarre shit stuff people fucking did, but I would probably say it would be the night before my mom passed away when there's a cold spot about the size of a dog. And the friends and family that were there at it saw me, and what I'm doing is I'm testing to see how big this cold spot is, and they said it was look like as if I was petting a dog, which I knew if that was the case, I knew it was Dakota probably. And then there's always my uneasiness of driving past the park near our house quite a bit. Still wouldn't go in there after dark, even with equipment. You can have even the head of the diocese for exorcisms with me. You're still not getting me, because what I've seen, I still have no explanation for that. I don't think I'll ever get an explanation. I'm not going to chase. I mean, it's a pin down to possibly to either a knot deer or a wendigo of some sort. Even though knot deers are more spotted in the Carolinas, but it fits the profile. I have never really looked into more Native American lore. That's a possibility, because Native American lore is one of those situations, like those subject matters. It's because of old earth magic and things like that, with how they even still today believe about wendigos in their territory, how they will go out fully armed with AR-15s and other rifles just in case they run into these things. I mean, even with them still believing it to that point, I am never going to second guess the First Nations on their lore of things. Because, I mean, they have their bullets treated in ashes, because that is technically one of the ways that they know they can take out wendigos is by using ammunition that is treated in ashes.
Any ashes in particular, or just
They
ashes?
just said ashes. They didn't get into specifics, probably for certain specific reasons when I watched some videos on that, because they said Because the way with the ashes, you can kill the spirit of the Wendigo this way. You get like without it, you can kill the body, but you cannot kill its spirit, which can inhabit another. But to kill the actual true spirit of the Wendigo, it has to be done with ashes in some sort of fashion. So they're loading up AR-15s with these rounds treated in ashes. They didn't specify what the ashes are from. Whether it's campfire, animal, whatever. I'm sure there's certain things that they keep to their people alone, so it's not its ability is not ruined. Because it's one of those things. If you don't know what you're fucking doing, you don't fuck with it.
Right.
Because things like that have been passed down for hundreds, thousands of years in their in their culture. It's like white women with crystals. You're gonna get this information, but the real stuff we're keeping over here.
White women with crystals.
We're gonna keep the real information over here away from you guys, so it can maintain its power, and you guys can't screw it up.
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck.
Because I've seen posts from those of the First Nations, about their concerns about the overuse of white sage, losing its ability to do what it needs to be done because of, modern day spirituality of using it. It's like, oh, just burn some sage. It's like, no, you're ruining what its intent is for, basically.
Yeah.
And, if it's being over harvested to feed all that stuff. It's like, no, if you're going to use the sage, you have it be used by people that know how to use it correctly.
Yeah.
Because if you're having some true issue, somebody will help you.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have to pay for their services or whatever, but,
Right.
have a professional come in and do what they need to be done. Not just Google it, oh, this is what I need, this, and this. And it's like, no, you don't know what you're doing. That's why, even with the investigation we've done and others, that's why we're doing these small ones. And we're not like, all right, we've done one, let's go to Waverly Hills. Or, or one of those other big name places.
Yeah, I just want to go to Waverly Hills because I've been wanting to go ever since I saw it on television.
Right.
Like a real haunted house.
Right. It's like we've gone to the Bell. I would love to be able to go back to the Bell. Just the smaller group of people that we all know that's not gonna fuck with things.
Yeah, that'd be a big one for me.
Right.
Make sure some Weisenheimer wasn't there trying to just fuck around.
Well, it's not really a lot of that. It's people, somebody just messing around wanting to screw with things. Is just the sheer volume of people that were there. And we still had a great time doing it and everything. But just, we were supposed to be all in small groups by the end of the night. We were just in 2 large groups, basically.
Yeah.
So the recording the audio stuff to listen for was basically just off the table at that point.
Yeah. That sounded interesting as hell, though, to go to that place. Other than the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you go when it's not. Oh my god,
There's
dude!
no way I could
Every
handle
floor
that.
was hotter than the hotter than the one before.
She only went on the third floor.
There's
for a
no
little
way.
bit when we first got there during the daytime. She didn't go upstairs after we actually started the actual investigation. When everybody basically ended up on the 3rd floor at that point.
When I saw a skinny girl walking down, sweating her ass off, saying, "Damn, it's hot up there," I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
When the
They
skinny
know it.
people are coming out sweating and saying it's hot, it's like, cool biz. Not going there.
I'm used to high heat situations like that, so it didn't bother me any, I guess you could say.
You told me that it was even warm up there for you.
Yeah, it was, but I know my limits with being in heat like that, but I wasn't.
So do I. That's why I did not bypass the 3rd floor.
But I hadn't hit that limit yet up there yet, so.
He's like,
I'm not a
I
big
felt
heat
like
fan,
Charlie
so.
in the glass elevator.
Right.
The sky is the limit.
But yeah, if we're ready to go back to do a more thorough investigation, it would probably be in a much colder month, probably October.
Yeah.
Or something.
I would like
Yeah.
to do that. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. So
I want to go. I want to go bad.
You'd love it, dude. That place is gorgeous.
Pretty architecture.
See, the thing is, we need to stop coming down on a weekend that they have something else going on.
Yeah.
Like do other public ghost tours.
But they do their public ghost tours so early.
Right, I know.
Like, we want it to be dark.
let's say, what's
It'd
the
be
point of
really
that?
cool if there
Well-
was a storm happening outside.
Well, with their public ghost tours, it's probably a little bit different than what we've experienced. I know we already got the cream of the crop experience of the Bell, but I'm sure it's not nearly as going to be as good. But still, to go back again.
But there was still shit still happening
Exactly.
in daylight when we got there in a room full of people.
Right. Especially it was dead center in that room. Even though there's certain pieces of equipment I would love to have before we would return, but they're never back on sale.
Yeah.
And eventually I'll have another rolling case of all that eventually, slowly but surely.
Where do you find things for that?
Just on the internet.
You
just
can
look for
buy
them.
them.
Okay.
You can buy them there. They make shit to sell
they
there.
have stuff made locally that they sell there, and then there's websites you can get stuff. And there's even Etsy stores that has that stuff.
I would love to have their music box.
You know,
What's that do?
it's like one of those REM pod things, but it plays music when it's
Creepy, like, music box.
well, you can
music.
program it. I found the company that makes those, and actually it can be programmed. Something else we're going to program the rest of our theme song, our opening music. It sounds like the best thing. But, you know, the friends of ours that want to go do that with us, they're like, oh my God, someone's a fan of your show. It's like, no, they just programmed it that way. I've been trying to talk to them to, you know, come to Fort Wayne for it. That's where I'd love to them to all do the experience, because I know it's a guaranteed thing there with them because of what we witnessed our very first time there in the daylight.
And we didn't even, like, go in to join that room, the group in that room. Like, we were just walking around looking through the rooms by ourselves, and then we just stumbled upon this room where the entire outside of the room is just a circle of fucking people with a REM pod right in the center of the room, nobody around it, and it is going crazy.
And we had just happened to walk in, and a tour guide asked a question, and it responded intelligently to his question with it by changing a color that he asked for.
You no kidding?
Yeah, that was a crazy experience.
It's like
the
the
ghost of a little girl that lives there.
No, it's a little
boy.
boy upstairs on the third floor. That the whole witnessing of that with the guy that we had, that was something else. I had never seen or heard or read of anything like that from what I saw with that.
Then the shit in the morgue, the prep room
No, yeah.
with Justin
Yep.
was insane.
Well, everything was insane with that, just because from everything from me going to get my water and getting a response of it's warm in here. Mm-hmm. You know, because they turned all the AC off because of the reduced background noises for anybody doing recording. So that wasn't a thing. So, you know, you have like 50 some people in this granite building, or I think it's limestone. This limestone mansion, you know. And it's retaining all this heat from the sun beating on it all day, and then the heat from everybody inside. So yeah, it was a little toasty in there. But even that whole time in that room, from the time I left to go get my water from the sales room to come back, and whatever happened when you were in there while I was in the going and getting my water, that's the part that I missed. But me coming back in is to your right, and I'm next to those pictures based with John Dillinger's secondhand man, basically. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. To the responses Justin got when we
Asked
steered
like
the
how
conversation.
many. Well, yeah, that was the part that got me. Was we had asked, Justin was doing the Estes method, which is what David was showing you with having the headphones on, going through like high frequency channels. Anyways, somebody in our little group that was in that room asked how many people were in the room right now, and Justin, the guy that has the podcast, was listening, and he said the number of the people in the room.
Oh.
And then another group walked in, so the person asked again, said something like, more people just walked in. How many more people just came in? And it said the number of fucking people that had just walked in.
Oh, wow.
And Justin can't even hear us. Like, we tap him on the shoulder. It's like, hey, we're moving on if you want to come with us. I think somebody did, but still, when you're doing the spirit box with headphones, you can't hear anything. Best thing I can hear is when I was showing it to you, I could hear a muffled sound of Sarah talking. That was it. I can't understand what she was saying.
Yeah, but to get 2 correct numbers, that was fucked up.
But also, one of his other responses, I wish we had more time to try and dig into that, was when we asked about if he needed John Dillinger and everything, and then we got the response of all for nothing. Wish we could have possibly gotten dug into that more. Or got more responses out of that when other Dillinger-related questions we had asked.
Yeah.
Because
Justin may know.
I never thought to ask him about all that.
He is the Dillinger.
Yeah, he's a
Man.
Dillinger expert. But I forgot, lost my train of thought with that on that. And where I was going with all that, but yeah.
Yeah, you guys will love it. You would love it because of how pretty it is and the intricate, like, paintings and wood carvings. Just,
And the inlaid carpet
Yeah.
in the
that's
for the
fucking
one
weird.
bedroom. That was the first time I've ever seen that in any historic home. Yeah, there's inlaid tile, but this room had an inlaid carpet into the floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one place we went to where there were pomegranates in every room. Oh, by
Pomegranates.
your guys'
Oh,
house,
yeah.
it was a mansion. Have you ever thought of, can you do that,
No,
please?
they will not absolutely let anybody in there. They actually deny anything going on there.
Really?
Yep.
Which means there's probably definitely
That's
something
not what
going
that
on
place
there.
felt heavy to me, but
Well,
It did?
yeah, it felt like this heaviness.
if years ago there would have been a possibility if a friend's relative was still alive, still involved with that place, there could have been a slim chance of it actually happening.
Well, they didn't even let you go in the basement or anything. That was, I mean,
Yeah, you could.
Well,
barely
there's
breathe
technically
when
two
you're in there.
it was
houses.
a pretty interesting place, though.
It was
I
very
will say
pretty.
that fucking back thing where they said the kids would sleep in the summertime
Or the,
because it was so hot and they didn't have
where
air
the cars
conditioning.
park
And
and they rotate.
Yeah,
the
they
cars.
usually let people in the basement. I've been in there more
We've
more
been,
than
yeah,
once.
I've been in the basement.
I thought they
It's like a
would-
ballroom
We might
down
have just
there.
not gone in the basement while we were there, or they might not let you use the tunnel between the basement and
They
the
didn't have it
greenhouse.
open when we
I
were
don't.
there.
Yeah, they didn't have the basement open when
No.
we were there.
But yeah,
That
it's like
was
a ballroom
shut
down
off,
there.
but-
They've got a giant fucking piano.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like their not showroom, but
Event center.
it's like their little event center. Yeah.
My favorite was once we went into, I think it was like the second room. They had the big one where the baby's picture was up there and all that. And we went around and there was that fucking bookshelf right there. And they had,
With all
I
those originals
forget
on
what
there?
Poe book, but they had an Edgar Allan Poe book in there and a couple others, Rudyard Kipling or whatever, however you pronounce that. I was just stunned at that. Oh my God, what year did this thing come out?
Right.
And everything. And then the murals on all the walls
Oh, I know.
were fucking amazing. When we got out of the kitchen.
Oh my god, the
When they were
dining
explaining
room.
how the kitchen originally was and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you go to the dining room and it's got all that stuff and oh
I
my
would love to have
God.
whatever that fireplace mantle was made out of, some wood that actually repels
Right.
dust. Like they don't ever have to dust it.
No, some of the rooms that they don't take other people through, probably because of the way that room is designed. You don't know about this, but I knew from, a mutual friend of ours that we don't talk to nearly as much anymore. Their family member was part of the people that worked there. And in this one particular room that they don't put on tours, because you have to wear booties to go in there, because the carpet is a reflection of the ceiling. If I remember correctly, like the artwork that's on the ceiling is reflected into a carpet on the floor, so they don't take tour groups in there.
To preserve the floor.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Probably because they can't come up with a way to have tour groups in there. They just have that room completely closed off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I've heard stories from them that lights being on for no reason, after hours, things like that go on in there. Alarms being turned off, going off for no reason, in like not even showing errors on panel boards or anything like that should show up. So,
Yeah, that place is-
but that place will deny any paranormal or supernatural activity going on in there.
Another thing that was cool was the main bedroom. Remember that shower? That had that cage thing around it?
Oh yeah,
And
that
it
was
had-
so neat.
You
The-
could get
the whole
every
place.
part of your body with that fucking thing. It's like almost like a Mike's Car Wash for people.
Yeah.
You get your undercarriage, just walk in, zzz, and walk back out. It's like being Simonized.
You get your
All it needs is
undercarriage.
all it needs
Yeah.
is the hot body wash foam dripping down off the top.
That's your man, Amy. That is your man.
out, they got the little thing that just spritz some powder up on your
undercarriage.
Your nether regions.
Why is it
fresh as hell.
spicy? Huh? Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy? God damn.
We went way off topic.
Oh,
Always.
I'm sure, many
was
of
a
our
cool
listeners
shower,
that
though?
talk about that, and me saying that they're going to know. They've all seen the video, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure Amy has.
What video?
The Why Is It Spicy video.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah. Because a lot of our listeners are our age group, so I'm sure they've seen it. Our international listeners, probably not so much.
Yeah. Moral of the story, don't wash your ass with menthol soap.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
God.
So we're approaching 2 hours now.
Oh, yeah.
We are approaching 2 hours, and it's a quarter after 12. I mean, we still got to put all this up. And why is
Yeah.
that clicking?
Huh?
It was clicking like something got turned on. Like something got plugged in with the power still turned on. Weird. Anyway. So, Sarah, I'm thinking it might be time we get back on the road here and get back to the shop. What do you think?
I agree.
So until next time.
Creep it real.
Remember to creep it real.
Damn, you didn't give me time to get to.
Please go and check out our website at macabreemporiumpodcast.com. Join our Facebook group by searching Macabre Emporium. Like and subscribe on YouTube at Macabre Emporium Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Macabre Emporium Pod. Follow us on Twitter at Macabre Emporium. If you have any stories of the paranormal, your local true crime, or weird history that you would like us to look into and possibly do an episode on, email us at macabreemporiumpod@gmail.com. And remember to follow, rate, review, and share whenever and wherever you can to help us grow our podcast.